Trade rumors and reports are starting to heat up as the trade deadline is just a week away. And with the NHL's trade freeze lifted, Red Wings fans are absolutely salivating at the perfect trade target that has just been revealed by multiple insiders to be available heading into this year's trade deadline. We're going to break down exactly who this player is and how he helps the Red Wings, and multiple other reports stating that the Red Wings are definitely going to be busy heading into the trade deadline. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Red Wings Digest. But before we get into all of that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. We've noticed that about 98% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening with the Red Wings, go down below, hit that free subscribe button. And again, you get to stay up to date with everything that's happening with the Red Wings. And a special thank you to all 1,500, over 1,500 of you guys that have subscribed so far. Thank you so much. Your support does not go unnoticed. But Mark, I guess we'll start at the beginning, and there's a sneak peek at a player we will be talking about and is the main piece and a perfect trade target for the Red Wings. But we got to go back a little bit to this from Jeff Marek. We know that the Red Wings were in on Quinn Hughes. Obviously, that came, that went. We know he's on the Minnesota Wild now, but they were in on that. They wanted to make it happen. They were also in on Rasmus Andersson. That came, that went. He's now a Vegas Golden Knight. So it's not exactly, this is coming from Jeff Marek and multiple other insiders, and we know this, it's not exactly a secret that Detroit wants to add another top 4 defenseman. What do you feel on this? And I feel like there is a perfect trade target. And we see you guys in the comments. There's a reason we're doing this video as well, that everyone is clamoring for one player in particular, that he would be a perfect fit for this team. But we know for sure at this point, the Red Wings are going to make a move on the blue line.
I think the big thing is, too, we've seen that they're in on multiple guys. Of course, Quinn Hughes went. We've seen the Rasmus Andersson to the Vegas Golden Knights, but it kind of makes me wonder a couple things. First off, we know they want to go out and get a top 4 defenseman. They want to add a center as well. But Stevie Y is probably looking at this team, a young, inexperienced team going into the first playoffs in quite some time, and maybe is not feeling comfortable to give up a lot of these young guys, the draft assets, to go out and get that premier top pairing defenseman coming through on the draft. And I think it makes things even more interesting when you're looking at the blue line. Of course, you want to move off guys like Hamonic, bring in someone else that's not going to try to score on their own goal every single game. But this is a team that's poised and positioned to not only go on a deep run, we know where they sit in the Atlantic Division, we know where they sit in the NHL. They want to battle for not only that top spot there, but they want to push for a President's Trophy. And Darius, I think we can just dive straight into it, the fact that we're seeing a lot of names become available, especially a guy like Logan Stanley, who is a prime candidate to be moved ahead of the deadline. He's on an expiring deal, of course, with the Winnipeg Jets. David Pagnotta has reported, and this is all from the 4th period as well, there has been no meaningful contract talks, and it seems like he is a player that's going to not only hit the market, but become available for the Detroit Red Wings if they want to go a different route of, hey, we're going to give up Kasper, a first, a second, a young prospect. This is the guy that might be a little cheaper to get.
Yeah, and in terms of Travis Hamonic, I don't think he's trying to score on his own net. I think that he's doing it by accident, which arguably, let us know in the comments, might be worse. But anyway, we know that they want to upgrade at the defense position. And to me, Logan Stanley would certainly be an upgrade, but he is a left shot defenseman. We know that the Red Wings are in the market for a right shot defenseman, or Quinn Hughes, because it doesn't matter. Quinn Hughes shooting right is probably better than half the league shooting, on the left side anyway. But anyway, Logan Stanley would be a good fit. He is a UFA. You have to take that into consideration. He is due for a raise. He's not going to be making 1.2, but he only makes 1.2 this year. You can add him very easily at the deadline. You have a lot of draft capital, like you mentioned, and defensively, this is a good player. He's obviously physical. He is a giraffe on skates out there. He's a large player, which would help on the blue line and with the toughness thing that we see a lot of you guys talking about in the comments, that this team needs to get a little bit tougher and add a couple more of those guys to the lineup heading into the playoffs. Block shots, he hits. Offensively, not that great, but it's okay because you're not going to get him for that reason. You do have some offense on the back end, and it would lengthen your lineup a lot. The only thing for me, the only hang up, if you want to call it that, would be that he shoots left. You do want a right shot defenseman to add to this team. I think that would be perfect, but again, it doesn't necessarily matter if you're trying to look for something that's a little bit cheaper. Now, the other interesting thing, if you're looking at the Winnipeg Jets, is Luke Schenn. Maybe you get both of them from the Winnipeg Jets, both affordable. Luke Schenn is a little bit older. I would consider him a full-on rental, whereas Logan Stanley, you could possibly re-sign him to a contract extension heading into next year and beyond that. So I think it could work out. I think there's better options available, but those better options cost more as well. And you can see, it's another intriguing name. Eklund's talking about it as well. The fans really want it. That's the biggest thing that I've seen everywhere I look, whether it's Twitter, Reddit, the comments of these videos. People keep talking about Logan Stanley, that he would be the perfect fit for this team on the ice and in terms of the salary cap implications, not just this year, because 1.2 is nothing. They have so much cap space. They could take on a bunch of players if they want, but heading into the future as well.
And I think the big thing is you want to look at his total stats. Yes, this is a guy that's a big defenseman, of course. He's not going to go out and put up 30 to 40 points. But this is a guy that is having a bit of a career year with the Winnipeg Jets. Of course, someone that's going to go out, be physical, be a guy that's going to clear the front of the net. And that's exactly what you're looking for. 9 goals. Listen, that's insane for what Logan Stanley's standards are going farther in. But Darius, I do want to ask the comments right now. Put Y for yes and for no. Should they trade for Logan Stanley, or would you rather them go out to get a bigger guy, or a bigger name, I should say, than Logan Stanley? But I think there is a lot of intriguing factors. Listen, like you said, this is a guy that, of course, is only on a 1 year. You need to sign him, but they don't only have the cap room for it. But I think this is an intriguing piece that maybe grows with the team. No pun intended on growing, because he's 6'7", one of the biggest defensemen in the NHL. But I think at the end of the day, Darius, this is a guy that you could get on this open market going into the NHL deadline. But then this is also a guy, if you extend, I think he could find a home perfectly on the third pairing, hopefully second, depending on how much he progresses. He is 28. Maybe he's not going to get much better. But I think at the end of the day, with all the reports coming out that Jeff Marek said that this is a team that's looking, they've already actively been in on people. Are they going to go to get a Justin Faulk instead? Or do you think Logan Stanley just falls into their laps a little better without having to give up much of the future?
The thing for me is, when you're looking at Justin Faulk as an example, he makes way more money. He makes, $6 million, but he's a better defenseman, and he's a right shot defenseman, and he comes with term. You still have him next year. There's a real possibility Logan Stanley could walk in the offseason, and then whatever you give up for him, which I think would be less anyway, if you were going out and getting like a Justin Faulk, for example, you lose all of that for nothing, right? So if you're giving up draft capital, you're giving up younger players, whatever it is, in a trade for Logan Stanley, he could walk in the offseason. Justin Faulk, you have for 1 more year. He has a big booming slap shot from the point. And I think if you could bring up the lineup again, when you're looking at the lineup, the right side is weaker to me. You need to lengthen the right side more, because not pictured here and returning to the lineup when they return to action on Thursday is Edvinsson as well. He's going to slot in beside Mo Seider, and then Sherratt's on that second pairing with, ideally, Justin Faulk or someone on the right side there. Axel Sandin Pellikka will move down. Hamonic comes out of the lineup, and maybe you add one more piece on the left side. I just think that there's more pressing matters on the right side. And now Logan Stanley, I know he's a left shot. He probably could play the right side, right? And it might end up okay. I don't think a lot of coaches and players are comfortable doing that, especially heading into the playoffs. You want guys on their preferred wing. So it's going to be interesting. It would cost you a lot more if you're going to upgrade to a Justin Faulk, but you get 1 more year out of him. This team is in a window right now. We expect them to be competitive for the foreseeable future. A lot of people thought they probably should have made the playoffs last year as well. They finally have a goaltender and a couple really good options coming up through the pipeline as well in terms of goaltending. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up deciding to do. I think there's more pressing matters, I have to say, for a right shot defenseman on that right side that would lengthen the lineup. And, the other thing before I throw it back over to you, Mark, is there are injuries. Injuries happen in the playoffs as well, or heading into the playoffs. So all of that could go out the window anyway. But I think in a perfect world, if you're looking at what do we need, go get a right shot defenseman, and go get a guy with term too, because you can still be competitive next year. It's something that if, whoever you trade for walks in the offseason, you're going to have to go figure out again next year anyway.
And I think the big thing is, listen, I think Justin Faulk fits the team better. You said it perfectly. A veteran defenseman that's putting up more points, can play on the penalty kill power play, and has the experience in the NHL playoffs. But the big thing now is, if you're looking at the lineup, listen, you add Justin Faulk, that's incredible. Yes, the numbers don't look good, but St. Louis is the second worst team in the NHL. So if you can add Justin Faulk to that second pairing, it lengthens the lineup. But I think if you can get to deadline, if you get to the final minute and you call up Winnipeg to say, hey, 3rd round pick right now, Logan Stanley, make it happen. This works perfect, because even if Stanley walks, you have the left side with a lot of young guys coming through. Maybe this is just the rental. You get him for the 1 year. If you can sign him, sure, whatever. But then at the end of the day, you have that young group coming up through the minors, through the juniors on the current team. So maybe we see Stevie Y go out and shock a lot of people by getting not one, but two defensemen to add to this corp.
And we know that they want to make a couple moves. They want to upgrade at the defense position. And ideally, in a perfect world, they want to upgrade at center as well. Will that happen? Maybe he makes 2 moves on defense. Maybe there's no moves at all. Let us know how you feel in the comments below and what you think is going to happen. I think that they're going to make 2 moves at the deadline. It's going to be a defenseman. We don't know exactly who. We know that, Yzerman doesn't necessarily want to make a huge splash, but he might surprise us. He might surprise us. A lot of people are thinking that he's not going to do us that to the team, but let us know in the comments below what you think. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything Detroit Red Wings.